Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Josie here. So, our sister Diana Ekueme, who is a content creator living in Saudi Arabia right now and from Nigeria, this lady has shared something that I like to share with my audience here. She said we shouldn't travel. I mean, Africans that are willing to travel to Canada, Australia, US in 2023, no Africans should travel. Why is she saying all these things? I think we should hear from what she meant or the reason why she's saying that Africans should not travel to the USA. Maybe she have seen something or she have heard something we have no idea about it. And please, let's watch the video and share our thoughts on this video, and don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share, and I'll see ya later. Ciao.
Hear me out. If you're Nigerian, Kenyan, Cameroonian, Ghanaian, South African, whichever country that you're from in Africa, so long as you're my brother, you're my sister, do not move to the UK, the US, Europe, Canada, Australia, the collective West. Do not move there 2023. And I'm going to be sharing some of the reasons why. I've talked about this severally on my YouTube channel, but I've gotten, because it's an unpopular opinion, I've gotten so much hate for it. But I know that there are going to be a few people who would go and do their research and know what's going on. Yes, like I said in my last video, I know most people define greener pastures, differently. If you've been in a system where corruption is normal, you can't travel without 10 police officers stopping you from point A to point B. You can't afford to eat 3 square meals a day. Insecurity is just through the roof. Maybe I may be talking gibberish to you. I may sound like a mumu, or I may sound like a total lunatic to you, but hear me out. Where you're running to, the citizens of those countries are looking to move out. Currently in 2023, the inflation in all these Western countries, all these Western economies, Europe included, they're in the double digits. Most people can afford, even with a decent wage, most people can afford to save. Most people can afford to live their lives without feeling like they're slaving away, which I know you would do literally anything to leave Africa. Because you may as well go and be a slave there, as long as you're seeing the electricity, the good road, the security. But it's not like that anymore. It's not like it used to be. Those of them who have been in the system, that's why I always say, if you want to move to the West, if you want to relocate, please do not listen to only your agents. Do not listen to those people who have just gone there about a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, that will tell you, just the superficial things. Listen to the people who have been in the system for well over 20 years, 25 years, 30, who have lived most of their lives. They've had children there. Second generation, third generation, fourth generation, fifth. Listen to those ones. They will tell you the drastic changes that have had to happen in the West. Now, you can't save if you're going, especially as a family of 3, 4, 5, 6. You can't save at this point. You can't save, even if, say for instance, you're in the UK, you're earning £30,000. You cannot save. You cannot save. There are a lot of things going on in the system that are somewhat blind to you, who is a foreigner, but those who have been there, the citizens, they know. The free schools you're talking about is on the brink of collapse. The healthcare brink of collapse. When I talk about brink of collapse, it's not what it used to be. Yes, the schools are free. Not really free, because somehow, nothing in the West is free. Please get that inside your head, please. The way people try around the world, free healthcare, free this, you're somewhat in some way going to still pay for it, but you may not know that you're paying for it. You're taxed for everything. It's remaining the air that you're breathing. That's the only thing remaining for them not to tax, which they will one day tax. The school system is in shambles. Imagine a 6-year-old, a 7-year-old being told that maybe you have a son. They're being taught that there are different genders apart from male and female. They're being taught to identify as fishes, trees, whatsoever. You cannot wake up and do that rubbish in Africa. If you're moving, you need to be aware of the way the system in wherever you're going to is set up. The healthcare system is free, but how is it that you have your money and you want to walk into, you know how you have your money, you walk into, no matter how bad it is in Africa, no matter how bad it is in Nigeria, you can always get an appointment on the same day. There are people, do you know that there are people waiting for years and years just for a surgery? There are people who literally have to call an ambulance, 911 or 999 for emergencies because they can't literally walk into hospitals and see a doctor instantly. Some people have to wait years. Some people, when they eventually get to see a doctor, it's they get recommended paracetamol. They get recommended things that you would have even wished you did at home. There are certain things in the system that are broken and people are striking for. Do you know how many strikes that have had to happen since last year and this year in some of the countries you're running to? Germany, France, the protests is crazy. Just in the UK alone, different professions they've striked. If that's an English word, striked. The nurses, the doctors, teachers, railway workers, you need to be aware of these things. And yes, it may feel rosy, it may feel like heavenly to you because you're coming from where it's not working. But along the line, you will see that now I see why these people are moving out. The Chinese, they are coming heavily to invest in Africa. British people, most of them are moving to Australia, New Zealand. Most of the places you're going to, Americans are trooping here in Saudi Arabia, trooping to Dubai, Qatar. They are leaving their economies. Most of these economies, they've been flooded by immigrants. And it's not bad. It's not bad until you see that it's bad. I'm not trying to discourage you. I'm only trying to open your eyes to the reality of things. And these agents that are trying to take your money, they wouldn't tell you that. The people you're talking to constantly, maybe they are even ignorant about what's happening. To them, they found a better life. To them, oh, I never had electricity. Now I do have 24/7 electricity. But with time, you would know that this is not the level I want to be. Having to work 40 hours a week, I'm still not able to have a life, travel when you can, have a holiday, that you can't just go bankrupt. Just have a family, work-life balance. These are the things that we take for granted in Africa. Yes, we have our issues. We have the issue of corruption, the issue of insecurity. The issues are enormous in Africa. But please be aware of where you're going to. Let's not always condition our minds, The chains of colonialism hasn't still left us to always think that the West is the only place that we can find greener pastures. There are countries like Switzerland. There are countries like the UAE. There are countries like different places that you can literally have a better life. Different places that you can literally just live well without having to slave away. People are leaving the UK in droves whilst you're running to go to the UK. People are leaving the USA in droves because of the neocons, the warmongering politicians, the way that the system has been wrecked, the moral decadence, the insecurity. You're running away from insecurity, from being kidnapped in Africa, but you're running into a system where literally When you send your child off to school, you don't know what's gonna happen. If a lunatic would come in with a gun and pop, 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 kill everyone. It's mad. But at the same time, as much as we glorify the West, as much as we glorify Europe and all that, let's know the issues and ask ourselves, are we able to live with these issues? There are so many of our brothers and sisters that have been in the West, that have been in these places we're running to, and if they can have what you have, the things that you're selling and the properties you're selling, the life you're throwing away, if they can have it, they will run back home. They would move back home. Because yes, you would have all those things, but at the cost of what? Depression, no sunlight, not able to have a work-life balance. Please do your research. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Good luck in everything.